A block cipher is mixing up individual blocks using just one key, but they're going to use the same key on every different block. And if you do this the wrong way, you run into the same problem as using the same key for multiple different messages in a stream cipher. That is, if you have a lot of plain text blocks that are the same, you're going to get the same ciphertext blocks out, and that will reveal a lot of information about the communication overall. Concretely, suppose we're taking this penguin picture here and encrypting that. There's a lot of white space around the penguin that looks the same, and a lot of black and a lot of white on the penguin's stomach. Each pixel in this picture is 32 bits, so 128 bits is going to cover 4 different pixels, and so we see some stripiness in our image, but it's the same stripiness in the white area and a different consistent stripiness in the black area. So naively using AES this way is the wrong way to encrypt the penguin. The right way is to add on a technique that we saw in our introduction to cryptography, which is to have earlier blocks affect the encryption of later blocks. Instead of taking each element of your plaintext and using AES directly, you should instead take each element of your plaintext and XOR it with the encrypted version of the plaintext just before it. This is a chaining operation, and in the context of a block cipher, it's known as a mode of operation. Note that it's important to XOR with the ciphertext before you encrypt, not after it. If you did it after it, then even without decrypting, someone could easily reverse the XOR. What about plaintext 0? We don't have a ciphertext -1 in that case. You could just always use 0 to start, but even better is to pick a random number to use as plaintext 0. Communicate that random number as the first part of your message, and now you have a ciphertext -1 basically as that random number. But instead of calling it ciphertext -1, we call that number an initialization vector, because it's initializing this mode of operation. And if we use this mode of operation on the penguin picture, then we get a much better encryption. You can't see any sort of penguin in this picture. It looks like random pixels.